you guys today on this live is job loss, no matter where you are in your life, can be devastating. It could be devastating not only to you, it could be devastating to your children, the family, any persons that you are taking care of. Job loss and its effects on the mental health is devastating. Now, again, aside from everything else that's going on in the world where people are, just everything that's going on. But what I want to say is, I wrote an article over on LinkedIn and I've pulled it up for you guys to see. And I want to just talk about some of the effects of job loss. And again, job loss is devastating on a person's mental health, their mental wellness. It is devastating on in terms of their lifestyle, what things may change, what things might not change. But what I want to definitely focus on today is that there are different stages in a person will feel when it comes to job loss. And again, it's such a sad situation when we have seen thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people, tens of thousands of people losing their job. It's sad. I don't wish this for anybody. However, I won't be remiss to say that the people who voted, we are getting exactly what you voted for, and we all knew it. We all tried to warn you. We all tried to tell you that he is not looking out for the best interests of anybody but himself. But I will digress and say that when it comes to job loss, it is like a person will experience a roller coaster of different effects, different your emotions will be all over the place in terms of losing your job. And we call this the emotional roller coaster. Most people know it. Usually it's typically assigned to like people who break up or they've lost a spouse or significant other in some type of way. You go through a mirage of emotions. But what I want to say is the first effects of someone who is losing their job unexpectedly is shock and disbelief. Imagine going into your work, your boss comes to tell you they need to see you, they get word to you, send you an IM saying, hey, I need to see you, and all of a sudden you go into their office or the meeting room and the first thing they say is, I had to bring you in and I'm sorry that I have to be the person to deliver this news or be the bearer of bad news, but due to underlying circumstances, unforeseen things that are happening, we have to cut, we have to downsize, the office is closing, the business is closing, and we have to let you go. Shock and disbelief, especially for those who have been on the job for 10 plus 20 years. You have been going to this employer, you have performed it in this capacity for the last at least 10 years of your life, if not upwards of more. Shock and disbelief. You might be in disbelief like this, like there's no warning. What am I supposed to do? How much time are we, is there before I have to stop working? Is this immediate? Oh my goodness. What is going to happen? I have a mortgage to pay. I have kids to feed. I have car note that's due. I have rent. I have responsibilities that rely on me having a job. What am I supposed to do? The second thing that I think a lot of people go into once the dust has settled is anger and resentment. Yes, I think in light of everything that's going on now, people are angered because they're losing their jobs that they have been on for years, and they're angry. They have no backup. They have no second income. They have not a second source of trying to figure out where am I going to get income from? What am I going to do now? And for some people, this is all they've done for the last 10, 15, 20 years. So imagine having to go out there and start a job all over again. You're losing seniority, you're losing benefits. Now you have to probably go and take classes, and you're probably at that mindset of I don't really need to take classes, or I'm not interested in going back to school. So again, you're now angered. You now have maybe some type of resentment towards this situation. You might have now resentment towards upper management. You might have resentment for the fact that I stayed comfortable in this position. I didn't see myself moving. So you may also have resentment towards yourself because you didn't seek other opportunities in that last 10 or 15 years, or 5, 10, depending on how long you've been on your job. You may even start to feel resentment to yourself because you got comfortable. As a matter of fact, you got too comfortable. I heard somebody say a while ago, you should never get too comfortable for a job, because the minute they decided they want to push the button and turn the lights out, you're gone. The third thing that I think a lot of people also suffer with, again, is fear and anxiety. So, again, we're talking about a roller coaster of emotions. These emotions are going to be intertwined. These emotions are going to go from one extreme to the next. One day you're going to be angry, the next day you still might be in shock and disbelief, or the next day you might go into panic mode. So this is where we talk about fear and anxiety. The uncertainty of the future, your financial worries and concerns, finding a new job, losing health benefits. What are you going to do? How are you going to stay afloat? Again, we have fear and we have anxiety, and these are in no particular order, because depending upon what you did, what you're seeing, what's going on in your life, you may actually go into anger mode. You may actually start out in anger mode versus shock and disbelief. I think shock and disbelief is definitely, I want to say, I want to say it's probably the top emotion that you're going to feel, but right under that is a close second is anger. And I do believe at the time you could be floating in between both of the two. You can be shocked and you can be in anger at the same time, but I think it's the shock and the disbelief of what's going on that causes us to be in anger. Once you sit down and you realize what has happened, now you're angry. So you only may live in shock and disbelief for a couple seconds before you become angered by the situation. The fourth is sadness and grief. So after you've gotten home, the dust has settled, you're probably sitting in your car, you're leaving work, you get home, you sadness and grief isn't necessarily a bad thing, because again, people, it's expected that you will feel some sadness. For some people, depending upon your job, you're losing the identity. What was the thing that you have been doing for all these years that you were known for? And now you no longer will be known for that. So you're losing your identity. Some people are using their purpose in life. Some people get up and they actually enjoy the job that they do. They actually enjoy the things that they're doing, and they enjoy getting a paycheck, as a good paycheck, as a result of the job and the purpose that they believe that they're fulfilling. Would not say, and I would say sadness and grief is a part of any type of loss that we deal with. It is a part. If you don't go through the stages of sadness and grief, it may not allow you to heal properly. It may not allow you to see out of that zone which you're currently in. So I would say take time. I don't want to say enjoy the sadness and grief, but take time and sit in the sadness and grief, because again, it's the sadness and grief that you have to mourn. You have to mourn the thing that you're losing. It's a natural part of our growth and healing journey. The last thing is shame and embarrassment. And again, most people don't want to hear that they're being let go. You don't want everybody to know you're being let go. But I think I put this one in there, but however, I don't think shame and embarrassment is one particular emotion that I think a lot of people typically feel, because for whatever reason, in this instance where it's the government, people who are losing their jobs, it's being blasted out to the world, it's being on our television sets, it's in the things that we read, the things that we listen to. I don't think right now shame and embarrassment is really a good term to say, because a lot of people are going through it together. A lot of people are going through it together. So for me, I say, even if someone goes into a degree of shame and embarrassment, I don't think that they will stay in that long, simply because it is something that's being blasted out to the world. We now, instead of us shaming these government people, these people who are losing their jobs under this administration, most of us are feeling sympathy. Most of us are empathetic to what's going on with them and to them. Now, just know that it's going to take time. It's going to take you going through ups and downs. It's going to take you going through the full circle of this job loss thing for you to finally heal and come to terms with life, and then being able to move on. And so, with that being said, you guys, I am hopping off. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining me. And I look forward to seeing you in the next live. Don't forget, every Wednesday at 12 p.m., I go live on Instagram and LinkedIn. And yeah, that is it.